Morning, guys. Welcome back. Morning. Welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project. This is a psychiatric self-therapeutic multimedia project to solve the problems, challenges, obstacles in our lives, as well as a self-improvement process to reach the high goals and ambitions that we set for ourselves. So, if you'd like a brief introduction, a brief summary as to how to break down the Ahn Rho Project into domains of life, sub-series, analogies, so on and so forth, including the live stream schedule and the copyright free music and so on and so forth, you can check out the previous live streams for the past 3.5 years, straight up to January 2021 and beyond for more updated versions. And you can find all the jazz there. With that being said, this is the second segment we're diving into now. I want to leave a quick disclaimer that this table of contents, which is the second segment, will undergo some restructuring, actually a lot, over the coming weeks and months. So it's not set in stone or fixed. It's going to start changing rapidly. Alright, with that being said, for today we're going to stick with the usual structure, which is first the introduction. The introductory phase is 3 segments. We have 3 phases to the live stream. The first phase, introductory, has 3 segments: first introduction, second table of contents, and third is like disclaimers, kind of what to expect on stream, how to conduct it with honesty and stuff like that. After that, we have to move on to the second phase, which is phases, I believe, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's about 5 segments focused on digital, abstract, like variables and factors in life, such as the first of the 5 is the directory, which covers all the podcasts and live streams. That's segment 4. Segment 5 is related to that because some of the audio recording in the directory, segment 4, covers conversations with relationships, with employment, affairs, like that. And so there's a lot of commentary, storytelling in segment 5 that is tied into that. Segment 7, what you see is what you get. Take a look below. Segment 6 covers social media assets, covers educational content, covers things that are digital, like informational assets, like some posts here over on Stoic Reflections Philosophy. And then we bleed into 7 and 8, which is photography, usually covering some food, like you see here. Once again, what you see is what you get. Soup and any sort of food, dietetics, nutrition, any objects or equipment or materials, as well as groceries. And the last segment there, segment 8, is like database and metrics. So we show some spreadsheets and track everything: the finance, the budgeting, the fitness. And last phase, the third phase, is segments 9, 10, and 11. Those last 3 phases. Segment 9 is the most active of the entire stream. If I move this further down, you can see that's the backdrop in the screen. This is my room, right? So that's region D4. D1, D3 on the floor, D4. So just like going around the room, and there's a lot of stuff to cover today in terms of physical stuff. So stay tuned for that, I suppose, if you want to see it. But basically, we're gonna go around and sort out all the inventory, all the new groceries, all the interesting things I've decided to buy, and so on and so forth. And afterwards, segment 10 and 11, just kind of closing. 10 is like, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to lighten up the atmosphere. You guys can always, I know it seems like a serious stream because I have a lot of stuff to get through on stream, and it's only about 15 minutes long. So the fact is, it is. I forgot to mention that. But basically, you can just leave your comments and questions below, and I'll try to get back to you in segment 10. And you can leave some jokes and stuff. We'll get to that in a second. After that, segment 11 is just take care of your health, take care of your finances yourself. That's the take-home message. Before you can take care of anybody else, you have to make sure that you have value to contribute. Alright, so with that being said, and I say that too often, let's go into the third section. Disclaimers. First one, be real, raw, and genuine. I cover the good, bad, and ugly on stream. I will not shy away from non-PC topics, emotional baggage, personal insecurities. I cover it all. And that's because, by analogy, the Ahn Rho Project is a time capsule of my life, so it doesn't serve us any good to shy away from that. Second thing I want to mention is this is a high utility stream. It's purposefully driven. If you can't tell, I have a lot of things to do in the about 14-15 minutes, and overall I just have to kind of remind you guys that you don't have to take this seriousness too far, right? That's just for me. But when you guys are watching, feel free to just leave some jokes or memes and giggles if you want. If you have genuine questions, that's great as well. It's always good to interact with you guys. Next and last thing is, of course, what was the last one? Right, life is like a game. So I'm treating the project, by analogy, it's also a game, not just a project, not just a time record, but it's also like a game. So we're applying game theory over that. Alright, let's move on to actual content. So phase 2. I'm going to pull this up here once again, and what you saw at the very beginning is a good snapshot of everything coming together. So the first segment here in phase 2 is directory. So we did have 3 recordings, and what I want to do is pull this down now. It's all the content. So we have the directory includes the podcast. The audio recordings. One of these is for the one at the workplace, and one of this is kind of like so there were new staff I was working with, and I wanted to see how I was interacting with new staff because I have a really difficult time. As of the past 10 months, I've been really too much of an asshole. I'm trying to be more open and more welcoming. That's all it is. Anyways, it's always nice. Also, I just want to appreciate. I want to play these back and remember and appreciate and be grateful for the people I've met at the company that I've resigned from. Like I'm really fond of them. They're like my family, and it's really difficult for me to try to say goodbye. But that's life, I really want them to find someone better, and I haven't been all that best, so I really wish them the best. But at least I have some conversations that remind me of what I used to have. All these people who have just contributed such amazing parts of my life, and I'm really blessed, and I hope that they will, Anyways, that sounds a little soft and mushy, but there's also 2 more recordings. One of them is at the very beginning, before starting work. Some self-reflection and stuff, and then after that, coming from work, after work, I had like a conversation with one of my guardians, and so that was again, that lasted like two hours, and it got a little personal, stuff like that too, domestic issues as well as business. So let's move on to the side. Move that to the side. We also have the live streams. Obviously, this audio recording. Again, this is segment 4 and 5, right? Because we just talked about relationships, right? So that's segment 5. But segment 4 is also, it's just the assets themselves. So if you take a look on the right-hand side, you'll see the title of this live stream. So this live stream is obviously part of the Ahn Rho Project's directory. Overload of stuff, right? Like I have a lot of inventory to get through today. That's why. And you see $64, again, no frills, Walmart, worth of 28 items, and then there's some debt food items like $5 of debt, like as in I ate food that from people that I'm very uncomfortable with, and so it's like, why would you do something like that? I'm just being stupid, so I have to make sure I don't do that. So it's like debt, like I feel like I owe someone. Moving on to the side, we can move on to segment 6. All right, and so let's cover the stuff here, right? Let's cover the stuff here. This is Media Assets, segment 6. So from Stoic Reflections and School of Life London. So find these pages on Instagram. Neither of these assets are mine. Just want to say copyright isn't a copyright notice, not my stuff. So school thinking marks us for life, lends us to ongoing bias towards neglecting our individual perceptions in favor of meeting pre-existing expectations. That seems really, really pretentious way of saying that. Just don't limit yourself to what you learn at school. It sets you for a career, but it also tends to narrow your vision a little bit. I would say that actually in today's society we are a lot more free than we ever used to be, and now it's like we're too free. We don't have enough discipline is sort of the issue. So I don't know if I agree with that. That's fine, but I always appreciate that because that's one different perspective. It doesn't have to agree with me, right? Conflicting views, I will still show them on stream. It's good for me to be exposed to different things. Stoic Reflections, he who is everywhere is nowhere. Once again, this one's kind of contentious, right? You may agree, you may disagree. The point all it is saying is like, you can't do everything at once. Stay focused. But again, there's a lot of interpretation when it comes to philosophical quotes and stuff like that. They're very vague, so you can always debate that with yourself. All right, let's move on to the side here and say that there's also some, as you see here, there's some digital assets that have to do with scanning. So these are the grocery items I purchased with some equipment. So we have this dummy surveillance camera. I had to scan basically the packaging. So here's the top, here's the side, and there's instructions that basically I'm going to upload and then over to the laptop here so that I have an electronic copy. I'm going to throw away the physical packaging. We also have some stuff here like thread snippers, which I will add to part of this on the region DA. I am A7 right here. You see where my hand is. Like drop-like material, so I'm going to add these thread snippers there. So it costs like $1.50, quarter. I had to wash that. We'll talk about that in a second. And last but not least, we're moving to segment 7. Well, not last, but there's just a little bit of food. Some of that I couldn't show you, but there's some chicken with mushroom and celery yesterday that I ate. That was from class 2 item. Class 2 as in, again, debt food. It's not supposed to eat it. And we also have this bowl of soup here, 1, 2, 3. So I can show you that, and I've already budgeted that into the Excel. So let's move on into the spreadsheet. So here's my laptop. We're gonna pull this up. This, and you can see the fitness spreadsheet here. It's not doing very well because of the conversation I had with one of the guys yesterday. I also had to take care of my body and just kind of like cut my hair a little bit and stuff like that, and then do some scanning of the electronic documents and stuff coming from work. So it's just not an overall great day. I slept way too late, and then my digestive system is suffering from that. I'm not going to the washroom as much as I should be, so on and so forth, and I'm overall not very healthy. So it's not a good day in terms of health, but today's a new day. Let's try again. Inventory here, like I said, I already tracked the food, or I added in, but I still have to add in the soup. I realize now, I see that's not really done yet, so after the stream ends, I'll have to update that. And then of course sleep, well, I already mentioned that. And in terms of relationships, so I'm business tracking here. So I do have a fact here that I was trying to get my brother a job, like just a side part-time job, because he has demonstrated interest in a part-time, like, stable income. So there's that, and I got some reception back from my HR department, and so that's good. Move on to the side. Let's get up. Now technically I'm supposed to cover more of these screenshots here. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. You know what, let's do it right here. I only have like 3 minutes left, so here's some stuff from Dollarama. Like you see up there at the very top, that's that dummy camera, right? Like I said, that's that dummy camera, surveillance camera, just kind of like costs very cheap, but it's basically a mock camera to deter people from anything. I don't know if it works, but if what people perceive it that way. Down here we can see the receipts, and then we see the rest of the stuff is not from the Dollarama dollar store, but the rest is actually up here, and is all from No Frills. So that's just a grocery store in Canada. And so you have like some Indian snack foods here, which are like a bit more expensive now due to the whole COVID-19 Delta variant inside. So it's like shipping fees are much higher, and so the grocery stores it's more expensive. Then we have green bananas here that I decided to take a photograph, because I was trying to see if I should buy green bananas. That way they can slowly ripen over the week, and that way I won't have to eat only, it's like the first 2 days I'll have bananas, and then the rest of the week I'm not eating any fruits at all. It feels weird, I'm just like, I want to spread it across the week. So I'll buy some that are ripe and some that are very, very unripe until like 5 days later. I want to see how that works. Now that being said, they're probably cooking bananas too, so it doesn't work out. So let's move on to the side. Finally, we're done this. You see a little bit on the bottom, but let's remove that. Photography's done, all that stuff. Let's move into region segment 9, and the most active part. We only have about a minute left, minute and a half. D1 here. Quickly, here's the garbage that I have here with the banana. Like I said, I forgot to mention that this is yesterday's also trash, so it's a Dep 2 trash, as in I bought it for someone else, and then I ate most of it. So I'm gonna toss all this stuff in here, all this bag inside there, and I'll flatten the box for recycling. We also have down here, like I said, this is I had to cut my hair. I just covered this with all the hair and I tossed it away. Gonna fold this up and maybe keep it on the backdrop here or somewhere. Yeah, maybe here. I'll have to use it again. I'm not done yet. So that's region D. What is that? That's region. Yeah, it doesn't matter. D1's kind of like, we need to have some space here. So what I'm gonna do is gonna move this up here. All right, move that to the side for now, because we have only 45 seconds left, and we need to move all this stuff away from D4. Yesterday I was stupid enough to just move the stuff over here onto my clothing, which I need to go. I have to go to work. It doesn't make any sense. So I talked about coffee because I talked about this equipment here a little bit in brief. Like I missed out on enough detail, but I have to take off the tags here, right? These are the straps. I'll move the straps over to region A7 here, which you see with, again, to make the drop leg, and I'll toss these away because I already scanned. I'll toss the packaging away because I already scanned that before I made a purchase. The food here, like I said, I need to move to the side, which I didn't do like I did yesterday. So let's just do that right now. And then there's the bananas. Green bananas can sort of stay here. I may or may not bring it to work. The thread snippers, this is actually really dirty, so I have to take out the packaging, throw it away. I have to wash it out. I scanned it already, like I said. Same thing with the dummy surveillance cameras right here. And once I'm done with the cameras, I'll move the dummy cameras over here to the table A7, A8, and see where we can move it next. No more time. Gotta continue this tomorrow morning. See you tomorrow. Ciao.